The story starts with a girl named Ronnie who was tied up with ropes inside an old warehouse. Her mother came to see her, heartbroken and in tears. Ronnie, her face wet with tears, begged her mother to untie her. She said she couldn't bear it any longer. Seeing her daughter in pain, the mother's heart melted, and she slowly began to loosen the ropes. But just then, a strange, guttural sound came from Ronnie's mouth. Something not human, something else entirely. In reality, Ronnie was under the shadow of a dark force. It wasn't an ordinary illness, but a possession by a demon. When her mother realized this, she stepped back in terror. But before she could escape, the warehouse door slammed shut on its own. Ronnie's eyes turned blood red in an instant, and she lunged at her own mother. Meanwhile, Ronnie's father arrived with a spiritual exorcist named Ustad Ahmed, a man known for freeing people from evil spirits. As soon as Ronnie saw Ahmed, she unleashed all her strength against him. But Ahmed was experienced. He immediately grabbed her by the throat, pinned her to the ground, and began chanting powerful mantras. The demon's power was terrifying. A fierce battle began between them. Finally, Ahmed sprinkled holy water on her, and white smoke started rising from Ronnie's head. Slowly, the demon screamed in agony and left her body. After the incident, Ronnie's father tried to give Ahmed some money as a token of gratitude. But Ahmed folded his hands and refused, saying, "Helping someone in God's name is my duty, not a deal." However, his wife was worried. They barely had enough food at home. The next day, the family survived only on boiled potatoes. The following morning, their daughter Nyla got into trouble at school. A few rich girls bumped into her on purpose and falsely accused her of breaking their phone. They threatened her, saying that if she didn't buy them a new one, they would call the police. When Nyla came home crying, she told her parents everything. Ahmed and his wife were deeply troubled because they didn't have that kind of money. Just then, their younger daughter Yasan brought a school notice and said that if her fees weren't paid soon, she would be expelled. The whole house fell into tension and despair. At night, his wife starts crying, but Ahmed calmly says, "Every hardship has an end. God will surely show us the way." And just then, there's a knock on the door. Outside stands Ronnie's father with a new man named Timur. Looking terrified, Timur says, "My daughter is possessed by an evil spirit. No one's been able to help me. Only you can save her." Ahmad immediately sets out with him. As they approach Timur's house, they feel an eerie cold wind. The moment they step inside, the room's temperature drops sharply. They enter the girl's room, but she isn't there. Suddenly, a horrifying scream echoes from behind. Ahmad slowly turns around, and what he sees chills him to the core. The night's atmosphere is terrifying. On the wall, a girl is clinging like a spider. As soon as Ahmad enters the room, he quickly begins chanting holy mantras. But the demon isn't affected. Using its dark powers, it slams the door shut and lunges straight at Ahmad. Ahmad realizes it's the same evil spirit that once possessed Ronnie. Now it's trying to kill him, strangling his neck tightly. But Ahmad is no ordinary man. He's an experienced exorcist. He immediately places his hand on Ratna's head and begins reciting sacred verses. But this spirit has grown smarter. It suddenly slips out of his grasp, leaps into the air, and moves behind him. Ahmad quickly turns and throws Ratna onto the bed. Just then, the door bursts open and the others rush in. With everyone's help, Ahmad resumes chanting the mantras, and within moments, the demon collapses to the floor again. But the relief doesn't last long. The spirit rises once more and leaves the room, searching for another body to possess. No one could understand what was really happening. Ahmad asked Timur if he knew anything about the spirit, but Timur himself was terrified. He quickly tried to hand over a large sum of money to Ahmad, but Ahmad folded his hands and refused to take it. When he returned home, his wife was waiting with the same question. "How long will you keep helping others like this? Our children are hungry." But Ahmad calmly replied, "I fight against evil, not for money. When the heart is pure, God always shows the way." His wife fell silent, though questions still lingered in her mind. That night, while Ahmad was teaching his children how to recognize evil spirits, Ratna's mother arrived at their house. She was holding the same money Ahmad had refused earlier. She said politely, "Ahmad, this is our family's way of saying thank you. Please accept it." Ahmad's wife saw the thick bundle of cash on the table and immediately thought of her daughters. The school fees and phone payments that had been troubling them could finally be covered. Without thinking twice, she took the money but didn't tell Ahmad about it. From that very moment, their family's fate began to change. The next day, the dining table was full of delicious dishes instead of the usual potatoes. When Ahmad asked, she lied. "A travel group bought all the clothes from our shop." Ahmad smiled, thinking it was a reward from God, but the real horror was yet to begin. A few days later, Ronnie's father came running to their house, panic written all over his face. "Ahmad, there's trouble. Everyone at Timur's house is dead. Ahmad rushed there only to be stunned by the scene. Timur, his wife, and their daughter were all found dead in a gruesome manner. Ahmad kept asking himself, if I had already banished the demon, then how did this happen? Meanwhile, his own daughter, Na, returned her new phone at school, but the other students kept mocking her. Some even suspected, where did the money for such an expensive phone come from? And that's where the real curse on their family began. When Naila faced all the taunts and suspicions at school, she said nothing, just quietly walked away. Back home, her younger sister, Yasin, was scrolling through reels on her phone in her room, unaware that she wasn't alone. A shadow stood right behind her, as if it too was interested in watching the same video. Yasin didn't feel a thing. After a while, she gets tired and lies down. Suddenly, a strange sound echoes through the room. She jolts up and notices a white sheet spread under the bed. It looks as if someone is lying beneath it. Terrified, she slowly lifts the sheet, but there's nothing there. She looks around the room, but everything seems normal. Then suddenly something grabs her hair tightly from behind. She tries to scream, but no sound comes out. A few seconds later, she faints and collapses to the floor. When her mother enters the room, she sees Yasmin strangling herself. Panicking, she shakes her and finally brings her back to consciousness. Later that night, when Ahmad returns home, his wife tells him everything. Ahmad immediately becomes serious, because he has just received another piece of news. Timur's entire family is dead. The color drains from his wife's face. Her mind flashes back to the moment when she secretly took that money. Fear fills her heart, but she stays silent. She feels that if she tells the truth, everything will be ruined. As night falls, that terrifying spirit has now reached Na. It whispers something softly in her ear, and within seconds, Naila's eyes turn completely white. Soon after, the same boy from school who used to tease her comes to meet her. The demon finally gets its chance. It pushes Naila onto the path of lust and revenge. The next day, Naila's entire appearance has changed. She no longer wears her simple Muslim dress. Instead, she arrives at school in short clothes and makeup. Everyone's eyes are on her. She looks confident, but inside she's hollow. She traps that boy in her web, and they grow closer. Within a few weeks, Na's personality changes completely. The shy girl she once was now slaps others openly in front of everyone. But soon after, she receives a notice of expulsion from school. When she regains her senses, she discovers she's pregnant, and that boy is now with another girl. Nella shatters like a broken wall. Meanwhile, the same demon possesses Ronnie's mother. This time its power is far stronger than before. Ahmad does everything he can, but this time even his prayers and chants fail. It's the first failure of his life. Returning home, he sinks into deep thought, wondering what suddenly changed that made his prayers stop working. Just then, a friend of theirs who was a tour guide came to visit. During the conversation, he casually mentioned, "Brother, your wife's shop has been dead quiet these days. No travel groups have gone anywhere." Ahmad was stunned. That meant his wife had lied to him. He immediately went to their room and confronted her. Tears welled up in her eyes and she finally confessed the truth. She had kept the money for herself. A terrible argument broke out between them. Just then, a scream was heard from inside. Naila had fainted. Ahmad rushed to her, picked her up, and laid her on the bed. But he had no idea that their family had now fallen under a curse from which escape was impossible. After things calmed down a little, Ahmad tried to comfort his wife, telling her not to blame herself anymore for what happened, as she only did it to protect their family. Then suddenly, he left the house for some urgent work. Meanwhile, Naila regained consciousness. She confessed the truth to her mother and younger sister, Yasmin. She was pregnant. Her mother looked at her quietly with sympathy, showing no anger. Meanwhile, Ahmad reached Ronnie's house. As soon as he opened the door, his heart nearly stopped. The entire family was lying there covered in blood. Only Ronnie's father was still alive. He revealed the terrifying truth to Ahmad. Ronnie's parents had made a deal with a demon out of greed for wealth. They had offered their daughter to the demon in exchange for increasing their fortune. Once they became rich, they called Ahmad to exorcise the demon. But meddling with a demon's power came at a heavy price. The family's destruction happened because the father, blinded by greed, betrayed the demon and enraged it. Now Ahmad's wife has made the same mistake. She had kept the money for herself, and as a result, the demon attacked both daughters. The house became filled with eerie silence and terrifying events. Ahmad's wife suddenly fell completely under the demon's control. Naila, in her panic, was seriously injured and started bleeding heavily. All the doors and windows had sealed shut. Both sisters were trapped. There was no way out. In the chaos, Shri suddenly lunged at Neela and stabbed her with a knife. After this, Shri goes to Yasmin, but she doesn't intend to kill her. This shows that the mother was still bound by her love and emotions. Ahmad returns home, and sees Na lying there covered in blood. She has stopped breathing. Seeing Yasin alive brings him a moment of relief, but the demon reveals its power once again. Controlling the woman's body, the demon lunges toward Ahmad with a wicked smile. Consumed by anger and hatred, Ahmad loses control this time. He picks up a knife and attacks his wife. Yasmin's screams shake him to his core, but by then, it's already too late. His wife has suffered fatal injuries. Ahmad is arrested and sent to prison on charges of murder. The man who was once a great sorcerer is now just an ordinary prisoner. At home, only Yan remains. A few days later, Yasmin visits Ahmad in jail, but then the horrifying truth comes out. The demon has now possessed Yasmin's body. Maybe that's why it didn't kill her earlier. Its only goal was to inflict the cruelest torment, to make Ahmad witness his family's slow destruction before his very eyes. It was his darkest and most merciless punishment, a curse meant to shatter his heart and soul completely. And with this, the movie ends here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. See you later.